Yo, what's the business? This is your local neighborhood suparig off in this thing. Welcome to an episode of What's the Business. Today we'll be covering a few topics. A son was disciplined by his mom online. We'll get into that. Also, there was a viral question of which button would you choose, red or blue? We will get into, and then we will get into the White House and the shooting, why people think it was fake, and what was the goal of it even existing if it was fake. That's what we're gonna do today. This is actually going to be a short show because I'm gonna start the show out with personal issues. I was supposed to start the show at 8 today, right? But then I worked out this morning and then I was home. So I had to go to the store. The store had crazy deals. I'm not sure where y'all stay at, but where I'm at, there's a store called Tum Tum, and they had super deals on all sorts of steaks and stuff. So, and butter. They had some great deals on the butter. So, and bacon. 4 packs of Oscar Mayer brand bacon. All the variations. Center cut, the maple cut, the applewood, the thick cut, all for a very good deal. So that's why I didn't start at 8. So I had pushed it back to 9. Then get here. Y'all know the one person I be telling y'all about hit me up. And I had to actually do some work, which I rarely get called out to do some work. And so I sit there for about 15, 20 minutes. So I was like, am I really gonna do something? And then I decided to just go on and log in here. So this is gonna be an hour show. If you are new here, I can be very lengthily in my speech. So, but we're gonna try to get it on. What's the business, Poison Ivy? You were never starting at 8 or 9. We all knew this. And shout out to the people that have been here that actually do know that I am very, very not dependable when it comes to certain things. And that's just how it is. I'm gonna make sure these buttons working too real quick. And we're gonna go on and get the show started. That's gonna change though. Poison Ivy. I promise that's gonna change. On everything, it's gonna change. It's seriously gonna change. All right, y'all. So we're gonna get into the first story that everybody's been talking about. So the child on the left was disciplined online, and we're gonna check out the video and see what you guys think of it, and then we'll see what the internet thought of it as well. I say see what the internet thought of it as well. Oh, my bad. I ain't set it up right. All right. So here's the video, you guys. Mother is going viral after she punished her son by making him slam his PS5 the same way he had slammed her pet cat. This is via Reddit. Oh, my bad. Ain't no audio.
With your PlayStation 5, how you picked my cat up and slammed it on the ground multiple times. Do it. Now pick it up and do it again. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me move this for you, baby, so you know it's real. I want you to raise it up on your tiptoes and slam that bitch as hard as you can like you did my motherfucking cat. Pick it up and do that shit again. Since you got anger issues, we gonna fix them today. Pick it up and do that shit again. Pick it up and do that shit again. Pick that shit up and do it again. Pick that shit up and do it again. Pick that shit up and do it again. This is your punishment. Now pick all that shit up and throw it in the trash.
Now, I know that was It's pretty graphic for a lot of us to watch, and I should have did a trigger warning. If you are a part of the struggle stream, the other channel that I'm on, last night I got on the membership and we watched it. And it was hard for me to watch it there. Look, I understand that the PS5 is an inanimate object. However, PS5 was about 450 when it came out in 2020, 2021, and now it has went up to about 600. So if she were to want to replace it in the future, she about to lose out on some money. And also, the PlayStation didn't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? She could have just took the PlayStation. However, most people are focusing on the fact of why she did it, because he slammed a cat to the ground. Now, the question was, how is the cat doing? I was interested in that as well. And there's actually a Reddit thread where someone posted how the cat is doing. I think it is right here. And this is what she posted. Sunshine Burton. This Mickey Fit could get everything he wants and took it upon himself to torture and abuse my 4-month-old orange tabby cat multiple times. My cat cannot and will not eat. Let's go see what else we can break today. And don't start with the take this down BS either. If you don't like it, keep scrolling. Wow. Well, that's actually pretty. That's a lot. I wonder why she don't post like what he doing though, and just the punishment. That way I could fully be behind it. And really, to be honest, if he doing what she's saying he doing, because my wife's cat is a tabby cat actually, and that would probably be what they called back in the old days an ass whooping. Ass whooping. Not wasting my own money, but that's just me. Let's see if they got the actual what happened with the cat. Let's see. So, all right. So this another update says Garfield is doing great this morning despite his injuries that happened Friday. He has a slight limp, but he is improving. All I know is the baby boy learned a valuable lesson. This was somebody put. But I know this as well. That orange tabby gonna spin the block watch. Cats get they lick back. That cat is gonna fight. Gonna attack that baby if it happens again. And it's a little older. I patch stuff up with that. Yeah. Me personally, I'm all for the disciplining of the child in this case. However, I'm not team post it on the internet, because I'm not team post any of your actual life that you really care about on the internet, because you are opening up the world to have opinions on what you are doing. I have no problem with the punishment. I wouldn't break nothing about personally. I would have took it away. I would have took it away, me personally. And the first thing I would, if I was to post it, like, yeah, my son has been admitted into the 5150 area of the hospital. I'll keep you guys posted, because I wouldn't want the world to know that I had an offspring that's whooping baby animals' asses. Because now, like we do with everything, same thing with anybody watching the Fort David case. Everybody questioning, oh, we need to question the parents of why she did why she ran away. Why is he beating cats? Because now we live in an age. Now, I truly don't believe like this, but since I'm on the internet, I gotta believe how the internet believes. If a kid does something, it's 100% their parents' fault, and their parents did something. So, in my internet thought process, we actually need to be looking into the mom as the cause of his violence, because as we know, it's always a parent's fault. Kids can't independently think on their own or make decisions. Now, I'm just basing this on the internet. This is what the internet told me. It always goes back to the parents. Always. I remember when I was younger, somebody, I think my mom or somebody told me that at 13, though, your parents not responsible for your actions no more. I don't know if that's true. I ain't gonna look it up or anything like that. But in the good year 2026, all the way up to about 29, it's the parents' fault. And so that's where I'm at with it. No, on some serious stuff, why are we posting stuff like this online? Why? Was she supposed to get brownie points for being a good mom or a good cat mom or something like that? I kind of think she is, what's the word, ignorant, because she posted this stuff online. But she's not the only ignorant one out there. I had to it reminded me a whole bunch of times where people posted them punishing their kids online, and I was like, oh my gosh, people are dumb, and it really makes me mad because it's my generation. This is 40 to 50-year-old people that's been doing this, that started it originally. They my age now, and now the younger generation think it's cool and embarrassing people online, especially your own offspring, and then having the world who for some reason be like, oh, go parent, go. Don't never look at, why is your kid an asshole? Nobody, what did you do to make them be a butthole? Nobody. No. But they'll do it in certain instances, but then in other instances, go parent, go. And if somebody got the gall to post some stuff online, they're not a good parent. Not to me. Not to me. I don't care if the kid grow up to be a outstanding citizen or nothing. Your parent was screwed up because they used your punishment for clout. But let's go back and we go look at some older videos of clout chasing parents who, I mean, I guess they say they was doing it for a good reason. I personally don't see it that way. But let's go. We gonna go back to the oldest one that I could find, which was actually an older white guy, gentleman. His daughter had made him mad, and he posted, let's see. He posted this particular story. Where's the folder? Oh, it's right here. He posted this particular story, and this was like in 2000, I want to say 11. And let's see, where was this guy at? What's his name? This might have been a YouTube video. I thought I had this lined up, man. Okay, so this is the first guy. Everybody's. I don't know if y'all remember this guy or not, but Dad posted a video shooting his daughter's laptop online. They actually made a news report on it. Let's check this out.
Taking a look at this video, and everyone's, wondering and debating, is this good parenting, bad parenting? Take a look now, Tommy Jordan, and what made him do what he did? It was this letter that his daughter posted on Facebook. Take a look again on YouTube. Tommy Jordan, the dad, reading the letter that his daughter posted for the world to see.
This is called To My Parents, by the way. To my parents, I'm not your damn slave. It's not my responsibility to clean up your. We have a cleaning lady for a reason. Her name is not. If you want coffee, get off your and make it yourself. If you want a garden, shovel the fertilizer yourself. Don't sit back on your and watch me do it. I have no idea how I have a life. I'm going to hate to see the day when you get too old to wipe your and you call me asking for help. I won't be there. Sign, your kid.
A lot of controversy surrounding this dad, and with that controversy comes a reported visit from Child Protective Services. Also, police. Did they do an investigation? Well, we spoke with the local sheriff. He said they didn't need to investigate because there was no crime committed there. 253,000 likes, only 22,000 dislikes. John Harrell, if you were called to that house, would you open up a file on this guy?
Well, the key question, Vinny, the Child Protective Services would want to ask was, is there any abuse or neglect or harm done to this child? Now, once they look at that, they're also going to look at, all right, was this child nearby when the father shot the bullets into the laptop? Because you would hope that parents, if they're angry, if they're using a gun, wouldn't have a child nearby. Now, we'd also want to look at, was there a pattern of any mental abuse? It's difficult to prove. The key criteria would be, how is the child doing? But we'd also look at, was there a pattern of derogatory things that were said to the child? So several things that we'd want to look at. Certainly it depends on what we hear when we get that initial call and what questions we ask and what information we find out.
I want to read for you Dad's response. This is from his Facebook page, and here's the question. Would he do anything differently? This is what Dad wrote. I'd not be smoking a cigarette. I'd have worn my silver belly Stetson, not my Tilly hat, and I'd probably have cleaned my boots. No regrets from this dad.
Now, I believe he was one of the first people to do that online. And I just noticed something that really hit me, and I don't know why I'm even surprised. That was on Facebook. The mom who posted about the cat and the son was on Facebook. And I believe a lot of these haircutting videos was originally done on Facebook. Facebook is the ghetto of the internet. That's what I have learned from this situation. Now, that was one video. The second video I saw that I believe was the oldest that I can find. If I'm mistaken, y'all let me know. It was a father whose son was late to school a lot of times or something like that. And so he made him run in the rain. Let's check this out.
All right, everybody. Welcome to You Better Listen to Your Dad 2018.
It's the video that's
Okay, this one a second. Oh, there's some other ones.
triggering a fierce debate. That 10-year-old boy up ahead is being made to run to school in the rain by his dad.
He was being a little bully, which I do not tolerate.
Little Hayden was being disciplined for bullying on the school bus. His father, Brian Thornhill, says it's a common-sense way to teach his youngster a lesson.
This right here is just old school simple parenting.
Hayden's morning run to school lasted a full mile.
I'm sure someone will get all bent on shape. Oh my God, child abuse, a child running.
In another video taken the next day, young Hayden climbs into the car after again being made to jog to school in Roanoke, Virginia.
Tell everybody you're going to behave now.
I'm going to behave now.
The dad posted the videos on Facebook, and now opinion on his parenting skills is divided. I tip my hat to this man, says one admirer, and this. Sometimes tough love is the answer. But there are critics too. I think it's disgusting. Another. No wonder the kid is a bully. His dad is a bully.
It was actually a light punishment for what he probably should have gotten.
I spoke to Brian Thornhill and his son today. What do you say to those people who look at that video and go, hey, Dad, you're being a bully now?
If it's them calling me a bully is what I consider parenting, then I guess I'm a bully. But standing up for my kids, and more importantly, standing up for other kids that might be the recipient of his bullying, I'm going to stand up for everybody.
Hayden, who was ordered off the school bus for 3 days by administrators, has this take on the controversy.
Was a well-deserved punishment.
Well-deserved punishment.
Yeah.
He has to now run to school.
Why would you post it on the internet? Folks is just posting this for clout. If it was just about your child, you would have did it when nobody knew about it but you and the child. If the child, it's like the people are posting it online, they trying to come across as they are posting it online because they feel like the punishment is the online part that's what's go mess up the child. But I don't believe that. I think there are flip-florin liars, and they are doing it so they can be like, oh, you're such a super dad, you're such a super mom, look at you, you're the greatest. What happened? And he said old school discipline. Last time I checked, old school discipline was at your house with nobody else really knowing, unless your auntie came over and was like, why are you in there crying? Oh, he gonna talk back to me. He thought he was gonna talk back to me. And then, it'll spread around the family, maybe like that. But nobody's mama was taking them outside. Not a none crazy mom. taking them outside to whoop them in front of everybody or do any type of discipline in front of everybody. Except for this woman. Now, I'm kind of lying to y'all because I knew 2 people that parents came to school and whooped them in the hall. And it was kind of crazy. And so did this woman. Now, this woman got a little bit more, backlash for how she handled it. Now, the first 2 people I showed you was of this persuasion. Now we about to move over to this persuasion. Let's check it out.
Yo, you being disrespectful to this motherfucking teacher? Oh, you know you finna get your ass beat, right? Wait, I'm fucking and I'm not paying. So what you tell her? What you say? Get your ass. Get up. Don't play with me. Now talk to her. Now what you tell her?
Now, I'm not play this whole thing because YouTube definitely gonna be like this was some type of child abuse and stuff, and I ain't got no time for the child abuse situation like that. However, and I'm trying to move this chat thing out the way so it ain't in the way real bad. However, I don't think she posted that one. That looked like somebody else taped it and then posted it. So I'm not gonna really be mad at her as far as the postation of it. And I grew up with folks getting butt whoopings at school, and for some reason that really doesn't set me off like that. Mainly because I don't think she posted it. I think whoever took it posted it. Now, if I find out she posted it, then that's different. But I don't know, whoopings at school, which maybe that's conditioning. Maybe that, because nowadays whooping your child is abuse, like full blown nonstop abuse and stuff. And I think it's within reason of it. I didn't whoop my children. I spanked hands, and I only had to do it like 2 times when they were like 2 or 3. And I get pinched and look them dead in the eye, be like, yo, you know, and you got to do it immediately because kids, they have scientifically proven that if you don't do the punishment like within a certain time period when they did it, you go come back and what I do. So, but no spankings and whoopings like that. I got those, but they weren't public, and I did not repeat behaviors, and I only had to get them below. I was around 5 or 6 when I got mine, and I only got a good 4, maybe 5 of them. But my mom wouldn't have put it online, and it wouldn't have been nobody else around. If it was this time period, I know none of my ass whoopings or punishments would have ended up online. Now, and another thing about that Pops too that I wanted to point out, if y'all noticed in the Pops who did the jogging stuff, soon as he posted it, another person came online and they did a copycat version of it. This person was like, oh, father's online, sorry, Papa. I'm like, and that's where I be like, y'all is doing this for some type of cloudery. Why are you sharing it on? There's no good reason to do it. There's no good reason. There's only one reason these days to get on the internet. One, and share stuff. You're trying to get some money. Because everybody want to be an influencer these days. Everybody trying to get their Facebook page. They're trying to get brand deals. They're trying to get free food or free whatever they buy. That's the only reason I could think folks are doing this. Another trend that popped up was folks cutting people's hair. And I want to say that this may have been the first one that I think I saw.
Kid starts to cry after. He got his dreads cut off for being bad in school.
Hair gotta go. Hair gotta go. Let's get it. It's over with. It's over with. It's over with. Hair gotta go. It's over with. It's over with. It's over with. They ain't gonna work. They ain't gonna
for him.
It's over now.
It's some music for me. Hey, old buddy back here, that's how it was right here. He was trying to hold it in. If you watch, he was like, damn, this crazy. And like he tried to hide his face, but eventually the overreaction, the shower was too much for him. They got up. It was very crazy. However, like I said, I'm not mad at that punishment. That is a good punishment. But this looked like a barbershop commercial to me. This looked like, come down to Hurl's Barbershop if you want to teach your child a lesson. We open Saturdays, no appointments. That's what this looked like to me. This don't look like I'm trying to be a good parent. This look like commercial. Now, I don't know what that bald white dude was selling initially, but it's some BS. The only one so far through these, I could see that just a smidge kind of was the very first one that was smoking that cigarette. But because smoking cigarettes, you stretch out you smoking cigarettes on the internet and stuff. But even then. Now, it was a funny one. There was one where I wasn't upset with this one in particular because it was pretty funny. Now, was this still clout chasery? You got darn tootin'. This was clout chasery, but it was kind of funny. Check this one out.
You wrote on the back of my house, and I'm about to put you on Facebook, and you going viral. I don't want to hear nothing about that crime. Now, you about to give me 20 Drew Hills right now. You going to step to the left, and you going to jump. That's it. Jump higher. You should have knew better than writing on my daggone house. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you need. Tell me if it ain't good enough for you, babe. Don't start crying. This is what you getting. 20 Drew Hills every time you don't live. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you need.
Now this one I wasn't too mad about because this one really humiliating to the child. Matter of fact, the child might get a record deal off of such skill because he was on beat. I don't know if y'all noticed it, but that child was on beat when he was doing that Grant Hill, the Drew Hill dance. That was a good one. Now there were other ones that were some parents felt like they posted their regrets of the discipline of their child, and this person I don't even think posted the whooping of the child. And this is one of the only few of these people that I can say genuinely, he still did this for clout for whoever posted it, because I'm pretty sure his inbox was full. But still, though, he didn't post what he did. Let's check this out.
David.
What?
You crying because you whooped Leah?
Hello? You apologize, Mama.
How many times you hit Leah, David?
Yeah. I had to whoop them.
5 times wasn't enough. You should have told her ass up. You crying because you had to hit her 5 times.
All right, so it's the mama. The mom, whoever's taping this, did this for clout. The pops was concerned about his child and making like he was messed up, and the mama over here is talking about how many times you hit her, and then talking unnecessarily. You see what I'm saying? Clout chasery. So if it ain't the person that's actually doing it, uploading for the clout, it be somebody else. Like the kid that got whooped outside of the school, somebody else posted that, and that's my problem. It actually in my real life, and I'm not even joking with y'all. The only time you should be able to post children online is his birth, when they were first born, birthdays, and it gotta be on the birthday. If you miss the birthday, that's it. Birthdays. Graduation. There's graduation. And maybe if you took them fishing and they caught a fish. Other than that, it should be, I'm talking about illegal to post children. Now, with that being said, I also feel like it should be illegal to post pictures of your vacation, honeymoon, you shopping, your new car, anything. I think it's dumb as hell to post your real life publicly. Now, I post in the membership over there at the Struggle Stream. Y'all can check it out anytime. Unless you're trying to make some money. You explicitly say, hey, you know I'm on here trying to make some money, because if it was really about my friends, I would have just sent it in the group chat. See, that's another thing. People be like, I'm trying to share my life with my friends. Your friends, your friends ain't got your phone number? You can't put it, oh, I don't got all my friends' numbers like that, so we communicate online. Well, if y'all ain't good enough to have numbers, that mean y'all, they don't need to know what's going on. You don't need to be posting it for them. But see, social media done tricked everybody into thinking it's just instant sharing, when most of the people that's posting online, like 99% of people that's posting online, are not getting paid. However, every post that you post gets the companies paid. Facebook, Meta get paid. And Facebook owns Instagram, so they get paid. Twitter, X, they get paid. Threads is part of Meta. So, and it's really, now I'm talking about, it's only 3 real companies everybody really posts to, and they get paid off of everybody's stuff. You gotta really whip it and work it to get your cut of what you put on. And to put your real life on there is insane. Cause Mickey Fickies be wanting to go viral. Let's be serious. People will be wanting to go viral. Like that Pops, he was very happy when Channel 7 called him to do an interview. And it's just messed up. And my point of view, people will try to mix up with me saying I don't think the child should be disciplined. No. Children definitely should be disciplined. If you don't discipline your child, they gonna end up like this one.
Aria, can you come here, please?
Yeah, see, at her crib, she run it. And usually people who kids be acting like that, they got some type of guilt. Either they was overly disciplined at the house, or don't know, or end up like their daddy that was crying about whipping his daughter. Matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if this ain't the daughter from the crying daddy, because he couldn't do it again. Because he was really crying real hard, and that's what happens when you don't do nothing. But we're about to jump into the comments, see what you guys got to say about this situation. Let me make sure I ain't have no more clips. I actually like 17 more, but since I gotta cut the show down to an hour, we're not gonna go into that. Let's see who in the house. Poison Ivy, what's the business with you? Take him to a professional. Goddamn. Oh, I know what I gotta do. Take him to a professional, Poison Ivy said. I agree with you on that. The allegedly Elise says, why the hell do I have to change my chat to all comments when I come here to see? I don't know. I do not know. Let me see what's over here. Cause I can't see her without all chat. And I don't even know what the hell all chat is anyway. I don't even know top chat. Let me change it off. So I just changed it to all chat. I don't understand the difference between the all or the whatchamacallit. Somebody please let me know. Allegedly said, my parents would make me wait, and when I least thought I was clear of my whooping, they showed up. But damn sure learned my lessons and minimized those encounters. 100%. I agree with you. Let's see. What's the business, Lewis 28? What's popping with you? Somebody said this kid is weak. Hey, what's the business, LL Bitty? I don't know which child you was talking about. Which child was weak? You want to know? I did find some strong children. it was some strong children on here that I did want to showcase a strong child, just in case. I believe it was these two right here.
Better get your tears in two-way suitcase.
Strong kids right there.
Away with my heart. Better.
Now I ain't go front on some serious stuff. How bad for them to go through that and like really try their best? The whooping that they gotta get instead of that gotta be insane. Like they gotta be getting caned. Cause I would just sit down. Me personally. I would have sat down. Me personally. Unless I was gonna get boxed in the face. But it was just a spanking on the butt. Oh yeah, I would have sat down instead of doing that. I can't do that right now. I'm grown. Much less so. They had to give Mike Tyson punched out punch for them to choose to do that over just getting the whooping. Or maybe the punishment could have been taken away something they really like. Who knows? I would have just got mine taken away. But that's just me though. That's just me. Now, once again, this post, it don't look like, oh, look at me. I'm showing y'all how you should display. No, this look like whoever they mama and daddy is, run a karate class. All right? Because I'm going to just be honest. By the look of their eyeballs, they look a little Blasian. Just a smidge Blasian. So that, to me, this mean that they parents is trying to get them they run a kids karate class. And this is them showing how they could get their child in shape. But that's just me. I could be wrong. Let's see. Let's see. It's gotta happen. Just know it's gonna hurt. Wait, what's wrong? What happened? Cause I couldn't see Lady Lex. I'm gonna have to see him later on now, cause I just changed it to the all chat. Maybe it's something I can do at the beginning to where it'll always be all chat. But let's see. That poor baby doesn't know. Oh, you talking about the haircut, baby? Once again, it's on the parents when it comes to that type of stuff. That boy been here. The boy cry like that about everything. And really, to be honest, what? Well, and see, that's well, no, cause I was gonna say, cause I remember when I was in 5th, 6th grade, I wanted to get some earrings. My pop said no, and my mom said she didn't care, but she was like, Asha did it. And I was like, come on, daddy. He's like, no, what, you a little girl? Now my pops is 82, so take that. Well, actually 83, so take that. He was like 50 years older than me when he had me, but still. And I just looked at her. I didn't tear up or nothing or cry. I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna have to sneak and do this. And also stop asking my mama for stuff, because she go ask me to ask my daddy for certain stuff, and it just made me smarter. That's a much smarter person. But that's just me. Miss Mion, I can't see yo. Okay, here go Miss Mion. He crying because he don't like to comb his hair. I give him that too. Taking care of hair is horrible. That's why I'm about to get my S-curl. Who want to comb hair and put juices and berries in it on a daily basis? Not me. Not me. So I understand why he does that. The Drew Hill one is legit. That baby list. Hey, facts, the Drew. I understand the Drew Hill one. Whatever happened to just looking at your kid a certain way and they when they acting a fool? My pops had that control over us. But okay, I'm kind of lying to you. Not out of nowhere. My mom's told me when I was very little about how he jacked my brother up on the wall on some Mr. T stuff, like, and had his legs dangling. She told me enough stories to where then I feared. Either you got to have some good, they done scared the hell out of you stories, or you just gonna have to experience it for yourself. from my that's from my point of view. It ain't been too many people just off. I looked at them and I was like, oh my gosh, until I got older. But as a youth, I was like, and then fat, meat, and greasy, lesson learned, so on and so forth is how I had to find out. But and also today, these parents, and myself included, I don't have a threatening voice and or look, and my kids been around me 24/7 since they've been born. So when they know when I get mad, but it ain't a fearful. They ain't scared. They just know I'm a. And this is what my kids don't like, and y'all know this already. They don't like hearing me lecture them for 4 days straight. Y'all only get like 2-hour lectures of me going, talk. I will talk to them about the same thing for 4 days straight. That's what stopped them from doing stuff. I'd be like, hold on, why did you do that? You remember that time in '86? And then they'd be like, okay. Let's see. He sure didn't. He sure didn't. It really hurt him. And his wife or other half or rib go post it online for some clickety clout. Despicable. Yo, that was my dad. He told my mama it was up to her to spank me if I ever needed it because he couldn't handle it. And that's actually the sign of a good parent. What I would, what, in the chat, I want y'all, we gonna move on to the next story. But I want to know, what is your thought process of a good parent? Let me go on to put this in here. What makes someone a good parent as far as disciplining? Oh, you know what? The better question is, what's the best way to discipline a child, in your opinion? Yeah, how about that? What is and a child is, let me see, when do they stop getting Happy Meals? I say about 9, 10. So yeah, once you start ordering, once you come to me and be like, yeah, I want a number 2, you grown now. Yeah, you grown now. So y'all let me know off in the chat. We about to move to the next. God dang it, I'm about to fix this screen again. We about to move to the next story. Now, I don't know if y'all saw this online. It was on Twitter, but somebody posted this the other day, and it kind of caught a life of its own. It says, everyone in the world has to take a private vote by pressing a red or blue button. Now we go break it down. I'm enlarging just so y'all can really get it. If more than 50 of the people press the blue button, everybody survives. So if more than 50% of the people press the blue button, the whole world survives. But if less than 50 of the people press the blue button, only the people who press the red button will survive. Which button are you picking? And once again, if more than 50% of the population presses the blue button, everybody's gonna live. But if less than 50% of the population presses the blue button, only the people who press the red button will live. So I'm about to put this out here. Let me see if it let me actually do a quiz and a question at the same time. It do. Which button are you picking? And then we go read through. I'm gonna tell y'all my answer, and then we go read through other people's answers. Now, you got to understand the red button technically means you go save yourself if you press the red button. Okay? The blue button means you go save everybody. Or try to save everybody. That is a guarantee you get to save yourself if you press the red button. All right, so I put that in the chat. Now, me personally, I was thinking about this, and it made me think about that show, The Squid Games. And I remember halfway through the first season, they got to a point to where they was like, all right, y'all, well, check this out. What we gonna do is we gonna do a vote, and if the majority of y'all pick going home, then we'll go home. If the other half of y'all pick, staying here to finish the games, then everybody got to stay to finish the game. So if everybody picked to go home, you get to go home. The majority pick go home if the majority pick to play. And so I remember the last person was the older guy, the older gentleman, who was, spoiler alert, was, part of it. And he chose to, I want to say he chose to, did he chose to play still? I don't remember. Any damn way. But I remember me, in my head, I personally would have wanted to go home at that time. Because I don't give a damn about money like that. And I'm cool with looking at bill collectors call me constantly, so that wouldn't have been no big problem. However, when it came to this question, and it was the entire, I get a choice, and the red button say, I get to save myself 100%. Like, I'm 100% saved if I press this button, but if I press the blue button, the only way I'm saved is if everybody else presses it. And for me, I had to think about, I was like, okay, well, what the world press? Now, the thing about it is, if everybody press the red button, everybody's saved. If more than 50% of the people press the blue button, then everybody's saved. Now, we go take me very ready to clock out, and I'm tired and weary of this world because I didn't experience everything I didn't want to. We go take that out the equation for those who know that part about me and stuff. Not on no depressed or suicidal stuff and did everything. If I wanted to stay in this hellhole, would I have pressed the blue button? And that means I would have to trust the rest of humanity, or a good portion of humanity, to want to save everyone else. And with that thought process, it is no way on earth I could press the blue button. It's just no way. Because I know for a fact, most people ain't gonna press that blue button. They just not. Now, the people who claim they good people, which on the internet is a plethora of people, a bunch of people, which we about to read in these comments, yeah, they go press it. But I don't trust the overall opinion of the internet, because folks be lying and fronting on the internet. I know in real life, most people go press that red button, and I'm gonna press the red button. Now, as soon as I came to the conclusion that I was going to press the red button, I went and read in the comments. Next thing I found out that means I'm messed up as a person and don't care about anybody else. And it also meant that, now, taking into consideration, somebody put in there, he said the entire population. So that means babies, all sorts of people that's going to accidentally press stuff too. You got to take that into account, because it said the entire population. It didn't say no age or nothing. People got real specific in there so they could prove their cases. And then I was like, in my mind, I was like, yeah, what about all the babies that's go press red, just because it kind of look a little bit more enticing than blue? That's why all of the fast food restaurants got red in it instead of blue. Red is what's going to win any damn way. Now, of course, me pressing red is going to eliminate all the blue pressers, right? And my brain went, I think the majority of them blue pressers are all performative actors on the internet. They just pretend to be, oh, I'm such a great, I care about her. So why I want to be around a bunch of fake folks? At least the folks that's gonna be around, I know selfish like me. And then we gonna have a war in battle of the fittest and strongest, just like Festivus. I'm gonna have to, as soon as I press that red button, I'm gonna have to strap up and go out and start going and taking out the competition. That's just the thought process, because a lot of people is like, I wouldn't want to live in a world where there's all reds. Let's go in here and read some of these, and then we're gonna see what you guys think. Don't you hate when a person you work with, they ain't your boss, but they try to act like it and be trying to deviate work to you like you care, and then you just come online? Maybe it's just me. All right. So, and this was a few years ago. So the person who posted said the blue voters are hanging on by a thread currently. Now, as you see here on Twitter, 57% of the people voted blue. Now, this answer is worthless. Why? Because most of the people read this question. The only people's answer I can trust is the very first person who answered the poll, who couldn't be persuaded by the rest of the comments. As you go down, you're going to see people say, it says, everybody has to take a private vote. If the SB coerces you to vote, your life is already at stake. Pressing red isn't equivalent to nothing happening. Abstention is. But the setup forbids it, so you are already dead to save yourself. Press red to add +1 to the call. I don't know what this person meant by this. I'm kind of curious. They used a whole bunch of. They went to college for some real important vocabulary right there. Let me go and waste some water real quick and ask Gemini, what does this person mean? Are they pressing red or blue? Because ain't nobody got time to be deciphering those words. I got it on Pro, so it's going to take a second. It wastes extra water when you use Pro. The only thing that will make it any sense is a large collection of people that would have voted red to abstain, thus artificially increasing blue, which is truly the optimal way to play the poll if you're going for the best outcome, to save the obviously suicidal blue people and not risk anything. Once again, I'm not understanding what these folks are talking about. The correct answer is always red. If you press red, you will survive. Also, if everyone presses red, everyone survives. Those who didn't realize this and pressed blue got culled. What the hell does the word cull mean? Also, cull, the selection, removal, killing the individuals from a group to reduce population size, manage diseases, or improve genetics. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Someone said you press red for survival. I press red to cull the blue pressers. We are not the same. This guy right here says the red button people should be publicly mocked and hanged and broadcast on TV. Since he used the word hang, unfortunately, Dr. Celerio, you're racist now, unfortunately. You should have used something like shot or kicked in the balls and broadcast on TV. Then everyone reinforces altruism, and over time, people become good people. He must do acid or do mushrooms and stuff, and think he see the goodness in people. That is in fact how our species has evolved. Altruism. We are social primates, not lizards. Blue is the human answer. Let's see what the comments to his quote said. We are social primates, yes, but that includes both empathy and intelligence. Altruism without rationality isn't morality, it's just compliance. I think ChatGPT wrote this. Anytime I hear blah, 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 blah isn't something, it's something. That is ChatGPT. A society that suppresses reasoning in favor of enforced goodness wouldn't be stronger. It would be dangerously fragile. And that's my whole thing. People, hold on. Oh, okay. That person from earlier is pressing red, by the way. Let's break down what the hell they said. They said, here's a breakdown of what the person means. The quote is a direct response. So in this scenario, the logical breakdown. So refuting a passive argument. The speaker points out that because you are trapped in the forced life or death game, true inaction is impossible. You cannot abstain from the game. Therefore, every button press is an act of choice with real consequences. Because red is the button that actively kills the other side. If it wins, pressing it adds a vote to the execution block. The person choosing self-preservation by pressing red is choosing self-preservation by pressing red. However, unlike people who try to sugarcoat the decision as opting out, this person is being brutally honest about the morality of it. They are acknowledging that to save their own life in a coerced death game, they are actively choosing to participate in the slaughter of others. Yeah. Now, it's a guy named the Birdman, right? That I watch on here. And he posted a video and he went into depth about, what he thought about it or whatever. Let's see if it's still up here. He took it down. All right. Yeah. So, and go follow his channel. His channel is actually very interesting. And why is the chat moving over here? I don't even think the chat supposed to be showing over here. Yeah. And he got a good channel for a lot of people. He got a lot of good takes. He got some good takes every once in a while for me when he going against the woods. Hold on real quick. I got to take this real quick. Hold on. What's the business? Dude, hey, I got to send you a picture for that wheelbarrow. I think I messed it up. But I'm on live right now. I'm going to holler back at you. All right, peace. So he do be having good takes. So when he going against the woods, but sometimes to me he be doing some moral upstanding. This is 8 minutes. Damn, that's a long time. I'm gonna try to make it to it without cutting to the end.
Let me ask you a simple question. You're given a choice. A red button and a blue button. Press red and you're guaranteed to live. Press blue.
All right, that's too long. We go skip to the end and get to the major point of what he was trying to say.
That moral actions are those that maximize overall well-being. Blue does that. Red, that's why I called the red selfish on Twitter, because the safety inherent in choosing red.
So this is his point right here. He called this thought experiment, he says it's about selfishness. If you would choose red, you are selfish. I mean, I've never denied that. If the world is full of reds, that is a world full of selfishness. We go get into that. The people who keep infrastructure running are blue by definition. We go get into that. Red is doomed if they win. Let's continue the video from this point.
Red depends on ignoring the consequences for others and themselves. By definition, red is a short-sighted position. Philosophers have wrestled with this for centuries. Utilitarian thinkers like John Stuart Mill argued that moral actions are those that maximize overall well-being. Blue does that. Red explicitly does not. Red says my outcome matters more than everyone else's, and when billions of people adopt that mindset, you get societal collapse. So let's come back to the question. Red or blue? Because this isn't just a hypothetical. It's a mirror. It shows how you think about risk, responsibility, and other people, and whether, when it really counts, you see humanity as something worth betting on, or something to protect yourself from. So yeah, you can choose red, No one's stopping you, man. But just understand what that choice represents. Because in a scenario where billions of lives are on the line, choosing blue isn't naive or low IQ. It's human. And risking death to protect other humans is the most human thing you can do.
Now, by him saying that, he had to go to the military, because my mama ain't never told me that's the most human thing I could do. She told me stay out of trouble, so I end up in the grave like them knuckleheads out there in the streets. Nobody's ever told me risk my own life for the lives of others is the most human thing you can do. To me, the most human thing you could do is walk on two legs and talk to other people and write letters and stuff. Like, ain't nothing more human than that. Animals can't do that. Hell, it's a lot of other humans that can't do that. I get what he's saying. However, that thought process is this is what he doesn't understand with the thought process that he has. See, he is thinking that all the blue people are superior. And that's the thing about the folks that, in my opinion, not all of folks, but folks like him, who is a great content creator. Personally, I think he does stand up for a lot of good causes. However, the superiority complex, when he came out to this and how people were like, yeah, we press blue because we care. Them the people that if the blue was pressed and everybody, they'd be like, yeah, so based on this, I should be running stuff. I think, because I care about all y'all. So I'm going to set things in place so that everybody can be okay. They go set up rules that they think for them in their mind is going to save everybody. And that's my thing about the whole situation. But he's not looking at it from a real life, how humans work point of view. The most human thing is humans are super afraid to die. They do not want to die for any purposes unless they've been brainwashed or they got kids and they trying to say they kids. If it ain't one of them two, or they just want to clock out. If it ain't one of them two, I don't know what to tell you. And in his mind, he think people are really going to be on some, well, statistically it makes sense that if we pick blue and everybody else pick blue, that'll save everybody. No, people go press their red. Wait, you said I'm good for life? Me, I'm good. Hold on real quick. Brenda, yeah. Hey, when that box come, press that red. Yeah. Call Tony on 3-way. Yeah, and next thing you know, you got a whole conference of people pressing red. Ain't nobody gonna be pressing no blue. Why? Because the good people go call their friends to press red. But let's say you couldn't call nobody. If you trust humans enough, when we walk around in this world with who we have as leadership to press that damn blue, whether they stole the election or cheated or not, it was still too many for me to trust that that blue button would get pressed. Pressing red, baby. Team red over here. Let's see what you guys have to say about this situation. Hey, oh yeah, but Lady Lex said something back on the old topic where she said, these kids never had to pick a switch and it shows. Yeah, I was telling my wife how I had to pick a switch, and I did what I think all switch pickers had the thought to do, and went out there. And first I brought one that was real tiny. I seen this on a TV show too, I believe, but I remember I brought her one real tiny. She tried any damn way with it, and it actually was worse. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is a horrible decision. So then I went and got, because it was still fresh, so it still had the elasticity in it. It wasn't a dry small one, so it was still able to do real damage. So the next time I went out there, I got like a branch. It was like this thick. She's like, boy, you know I'm not gonna hit you with that. My dumb ass left a regular switch on this. You just broke that switch off the branch, and I got my issue. So yeah. Let's see. Poison Ivy said, I try to keep my opinion to myself because I don't have children, but some of these people should not have children. Like I tell y'all, having children is probably top worst decision that you can premeditatively have. But on the back end, it's a great decision if your kids like you. Now, if your kids don't like you, horrible decision. But if they do like you, hey, I guess it wasn't that bad. But that's just me. If my kids had hated my guts, then I'll be on here telling y'all, hey, why you go have a kid? That's dumb. It is dumb. But if you are on the fence of having kids, please watch The Cosby Show. The Cosby Show is really the only show out of all of the sitcoms or TV shows I ever seen in my life that showed they had 5 different kids and each kid has a different type of person. My daughter is a mixture of Sandra and Denise, which she did real super good in school. And she liked chilling with her friends and would ignore me even if I wanted to watch a movie together and stuff. She is them too. And my son is a mixture of Theo and Theo. All right. If you just wowed out on your child and they don't understand that they may never learn, that's true. What's the business, Rainy Feathers? All right, Blue. You don't know who will survive if you only save yourself. Yes, I do. Me. Lady Lex said, I'm ready to clock out 33%. As y'all see, I'm not cursing, which I gotta be honest. I'm pretending like I'm talking to my grandma right now. That's how I'm able to pull it off. And also on this channel, I'm trying to, I need to hurry up get monetized. So I'm not gonna say certain stuff until I get cross the line. So yes, I'm selling my soul over here. I'm ready to clock out 33% of the time. We all go, but I'm thinking with kindness and trying to save people, I guess. I know the majority of people ain't gonna be trying to save me. That's my thought process. I don't think it's bad to press blue. I just think you putting too much stock into other people caring about other people. Like, people like to present, or I have to mask all day. Like, certain stuff matter to me and da-da-da. Most people mask like they care about other people. And I just don't think I just don't think that even in the Bible, it was Cain and Abel. I mean, it's 50-50 chance, buddy. And I'm not rolling with the Adam chances. I agree with allegedly at least every child has their own unique perception and understanding, so you have to adjust to that. That's 100%. That's 100%. Let's see. People out here on social media sharing regret stories about having kids because most thought the kid would fix their relationship and get back. Yo, hey. Or the kid actually did kind of fix it, and to a certain extent, it kind of wore off for the person. It was like, all right, I think they can hold their own head up now. I think it's time for the go and go. Yeah, I know it was great up until that point, but yeah, I want to do what I want to do. Yeah, it's a lot of trap. It's a lot of trap babies and relationship fixing babies. And when I say trap baby, I ain't just talking about the baller alert, trap a baller player baby. I'm talking about dudes trap women with babies too. And then it's a lot of, on both sides, fixed relationship babies out there. And we can't forget the fourth one. My babies go unconditionally love me. And I know I always have them in my life, people that have kids too, who rolling the dice on that, buddy. You are rolling the dice thinking like that. I don't. People think kids are predictable, and if you treat all like y'all said, every kid is yes. There's some general stuff, but every kid different. Then I guess it's the population that's out there that want to have kids so they can. uh No, they want to replicate themselves. Yeah, so that's the fifth one. I think my genes are good enough to be replicated onto the earth. Is that, and then it's the main one though that we just designed to reproduce. So we just have accident babies. That's the number one reason kids are on this earth. Accident babies, because we are designed to reproduce. Literally, that's really, folks come down here and try to put meaning on our lives and purposes. And no, we really was. I'm talking about the reason, as soon as them hormones kick in, that's all you want to do is just reproduce instinctively. So that's the number one reason. I think 87% of children on Earth are the natural way, which is by, goddamn, for real, you pregnant? Fuck! Them, that's 80%. Dang, I said the F word. I'm gonna make a jar for when I be cursing. But that was F word worthy though. I'm trying to be work friendly for in the morning. That's why I'm cutting out the cursing. Let's see. Russ said, waste some water. Those Texas farmers are gonna be heated. Do it again, search for something else. This is what they bought it. They voted for it. And I'm gonna be honest. It just make my life easier, so go stop me. I'm gonna stop me any damn way. I'll fight somebody over it. And do you know how many arguments it get to prove that I'm right? It is wonderful. But equally, it proves that I'm wrong in a lot of arguments as well. So everybody should take advantage of being able to prove other people wrong. Tell Gemini to read it to you, friend. You skip the goodness in the response. Now that's the part of AI I don't use. I don't like the voice part of it. I tried to use it one time and I was like, nigga, you are talking to a robot. And I'm cool with reading it, so I know. I keep in my mind that this is a computer that I'm interacting with. My kids never gave me too many issues, but I started teaching them young. When my oldest daughter bit me when she was a toddler, I bit her back. She learned cause and effect. Yes, that is how you do it. You can't be fragile with these kids. And the younger you get your children in line, the better. The story I told you earlier, my pinch my kid, they was 3 and 4. And I looked them dead and I was like, do you like that? Now, you climbed up on that thing, then I tell you not to climb up on there. Do you like this feeling? Do you want this feeling to continue? Do you want to feel this again? So, not just climbing up on that, but anything that I ask you to do, you gonna do it. It took only 3 of them. And never had to do nothing ever again. And really, it didn't even take 2, 3 of them. It took 1 on each. See. Hey, Super, that button matches your top. Yes, it's just to let you know. I was gonna wear this other tie today, but this was the closest one, and I was lazy. They shouldn't press blue if they go power trip off of it. That's why I don't. The good people. The good people. The people that really help people, like the Mother Teresa's of the world. Some people, did somebody tell me that was anyway. The Mother Teresa's and the people I just know that's around in the neighborhood that I grew up in that was helping kids or helping elderlies and stuff. They never refer to themselves as good, and they never refer to themselves as good people. And I never heard them referencing the people in my family that's actually good people don't talk like that. Like they do. It's in their actions. And if you be like, "Oh, you such a good person," be like, "Oh, I mean, I guess I just you know, what I want to do. That's what I like doing." Anybody folks that be putting labels on, I hate. Oh my gosh, I hate that. Only labels I accept is if somebody be like, I'm stupid, right? And I'm like, wow, me too, me too, because I'm very big on the only thing that I know for a fact is that I don't know a lot of stuff. That's the only thing that I can tell y'all that I know for a fact is that I don't know a lot of stuff and that we all go die. Them the only two things. Anything else, I don't know. I be making assumptions. Legend Lee said, I think there's way more than simply selecting red or blue. It's about experience and perspective. This world has become such a dog-eat-dog world that it's hard to want to help. Use the term become. The world has always been like that, though, since day one. Historically, like it has never been this utopia. People try to act like when they be like, "Oh, it's different. It used to be better." No. In my opinion, ain't nothing new under the sun. That's a quote out the book. And it's true when you go through, and it's no way for it to be a utopia, in my opinion, because if you are a human being, if you are a real human being, groups of human beings can't be around each other without somebody either being elected by the group to be in charge or just taking charge. Once that happens, eventually somebody else come around either in the group or birthed in the group, be like, I don't think they doing a good job. I could do better. Whether they doing a good job or not, it's always gonna be some conflict. Somebody gonna try to overthrow some stuff. Is we as humans are made to be creative and destructive. It ain't no just creative. That's not, people think, and ain't no type of, you could put the whole world in therapy, the entire globe in all the therapy you want to, and it is no way, because that's inherent in us, both sides. And some have more destruction. Some people are more destructive by nature, and some people are more altruistic as nature. In nature, some people want to, grow and create. Some people want to destroy and hurt. It's just the balance. So it is messed up, and that's what I think one of the biggest things messing up the world. And allegedly, at least you probably know this, marketing departments know that by trying to, they know it's two very polar opposites of where they can sell people that we can build a utopia. And marketing knows that's impossible, but selling people the dream that we can all just be all makes them hella money, because they know that it doesn't exist. That's what cults sell to people. That's what a lot of religions sell to people. That's what a lot of products, it sells that to people. And so that means they can always sell it. It's never gonna be, because that's what people are taught, that it is a possibility, when it's only possible in a very small scale. Very small. And then for a very limited amount of time as well. Honestly. Now, in the civilizations that I believe do the best are the ones that are honest about how we just are as creatures, instead of trying to trick everybody into this. They'd be like, all right, that person over there is this. And they're probably going to be like that forever. We go give them 1-2 chances, then we got to kick them off the cliff. I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. But that's just me. That's why I shouldn't run a civilization. It's easy to say what you would do or wouldn't do until it all goes down. We want to be a blue world, but right now, even if you thought the next person was pressing red, you would hear what? I'm talking about. I wouldn't think twice, dude. Yes, I wouldn't even sit there. I'd be like, I'm good. Dude, babe, did you press red? Shit. What we talk about in therapy? What did we talk? We agreed that whenever it was a color choice with anything, we was gonna pick red. Well, apparently we got 24 hours. We go talk to Dr. Roof and see if we can get back on the same. What color is the curtains? Red. Exactly. We had it. Rainy Feather said it's true. At least I'll still pick blue, but that would guarantee my fate. L Biddy said I'm 50-50 for the most part, so I might put on a blindfold and sit around in circles and just press it. And that's what. Do you know how many people go do that, y'all? It's a lot of people that's go do that. They're just gonna be like, you know what? Flip it around so my enemy, because I already know the red on the left. All right, just you switched it. You promise. Okay. And then do it like that. And then let's say the Blues won. And then they posted a list of all the people that did blue. But it was LL Bitties out there that did this right here. And they getting all kind of gladiatory stuff or whatever. Them people, if they don't be like, I just guessed, guess what? They're still foreign liars. They can't be trusted. Who want to live in a world like that? I want to live in a world. I know that you take my life in a heartbeat. I know that, and I know they were one of the carers. Yes, I think I can give my social security number over the phone. Let's see. If I can be honest, Rosa Parks knowingly pressed the red button on Claudette Calvin. She didn't. I mean, that was orchestrated. I ain't gonna never just, push that on her like that. You know what I'm saying? They was like, look, nobody's gonna care about that darky. We're gonna need us a yellow bone. Get that point across, okay? Because they'll relate more to her and stuff. You got that 4C over there, and I know you got it pressed, but they not go. And we got to be honest. They knew. I believe they knew what the outcome would have been. But who knows? Maybe the outcome could have been the same. But they had to do what they had to do. It's the world we had to do. Let's see. She had the blue button go, but made a red button decision that benefited and spotlighted her in history. What I learned from Scandal is the lie got to go forever. The lie has to go forever. What time is it? All right, we was gonna talk about the Trump situation and stuff. I don't want to talk about that bastard. I'm gonna save that for later. He want the ballroom, and he faked a shooting, and not just him. They was all in it. I believe the people in the ballroom was in on it too. We'll look at video and stuff, but wasn't nobody scared enough. Folks was in there taping it. One fool was still in there eating his food. So that's what I gotta say. You know what? We go watch one thing about the Trump thing. Since I did, did download that video, or I did pick out that video. Check this out about this whole ballroom situation. If you didn't know, with the ballroom, now they got King Charles over there joking about it. Let's see what this is.
If I may say so, It is a particular pleasure to be back in this wonderful building, the heart of your democracy. On this occasion, I cannot help noticing the readjustments to the East Wing, Mr. President, following your visit to Windsor Castle last year. And I'm sorry to say that we British, of course, made our own small attempt at real estate redevelopment of the White House in 1814.
If this wasn't the fakest thing I ever seen in my life, then it's continuously
All right, we are
being
standing by
fake.
for the policy meeting from the Federal Reserve.
Check this out.
Could be the
They
final
did it. The
policy
Hilton
meeting for
Hotel
Fed Chair Jerome
is
Powell. Now,
necessary.
of course, one of
Hold on. Let's see what they had to say about this.
Let's talk about what the president says about his East Wing ballroom. Multiple times since this shooting, he has said this is why he needs to have that East Wing ballroom. He says that security would have prevented this incident. That construction, of course, has been challenged in court. Wave a magic wand. Assume there was this big East Wing ballroom. Would that have prevented this attack from happening at this dinner?
I suppose if it were possible for this dinner to be held in that ballroom, and there are a lot of questions about whether that would be the case. I mean, there's been no indication that the White House intends to open up this ballroom for private events, which this is what this would be. And the White House Correspondents Association isn't part of the White House. It is a private association of journalists who cover the White House. I'm a member. We pay for the Washington Hilton ballroom. I mean, that is, privately secured. It's also 3 times the size, give or take, of what the White House ballroom is designed to be. So this specific event couldn't be held in that space for at least those 2 reasons and for a variety of others. I mean, the president's points about the ballroom aren't wrong generally, though. I mean, the White House does lack a space to hold big events that can be done securely indoors, whether they be state dinners or, inaugurations. The indoor cold weather plan for inaugurations is in the Capitol building. That would also require a fraction of as many people as show up outside. So, he's made his case on this, and he's made his points pretty clearly, but it's not really an apples to apples of like, if only we had this ballroom, this particular thing could have been avoided. Other similar things that the White House hosts could be avoided, but it also, again, raises the question of, is the only place the president is safe to speak to large crowds on the grounds of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue? Is that acceptable to the White House? I don't think so.
Let's talk about
What the hell ever. Congress reacts to the ballroom today, to his push. Let's see what Congress got to say, according to CNN. And this was about an hour ago.
The military are demanding it.
You know that ballroom that President Trump wants built badly and says is especially important in the aftermath of the shooting that occurred at the White House Correspondents' Dinner? As easy as it seems.
This ballroom is just a vanity project. This ballroom is just about his ego.
He demolished the East Wing of the White House, a historic jewel of the American people, and he started to build this ballroom long before any incident. He also promised the American people that this was going to be built with private dollars. And so the idea that they are now trying to change the rationale for this in retrospect doesn't quite add up.
Now there's a new bill to authorize up to $400 million to pay for this project. But Republicans are divided about whether they should simply authorize this project because it is tied up in the courts, or whether they should dip into taxpayer dollars to pay for it.
I think the president made it very clear that this was going to be all privately funded. And that's certainly what we have seen to this point in time. And that is one of the reasons why it has been difficult to have a level of oversight.
Are you concerned about the lack of oversight?
Well, certainly if you're going to be spending taxpayer dollars, absolutely 100%.
What I don't know is what the staff
Interview buddy is super short. Like, them old ladies is towering over him. I'm sorry, let's continue.
of the private fundraising is. I think it would be helpful if the committee with jurisdictions had hearings or a briefing on it so that we can get more information.
Trump's allies say this bill is critical to protect the president during major events.
The times in which we live are unusual. I've been up here for a while now. I've never felt
the sense of threat that exists today. And I would suggest to the next president, don't go to the Hilton. Don't do an event at the Hilton or any other facility outside the White House.
Y'all look at them eyes. Uh-oh. Tell me what color they is. Tell me the word that comes right after. Let's continue.
Given the times in which we live.
It's worth the taxpayer money in your view?
Well, I think we need to make sure that we have oversight and do that responsibly. But yeah, when you think about this won't be finished until President Trump's end of his term, if then. This will be for future presidents. This will be for our nation moving forward. Have a place to gather, to celebrate, to welcome people like we are doing today with His Majesty and others, and do it in a safe environment.
But will Speaker Johnson decide to act on this plan? Mr. Speaker, are you going to put funding for the ballroom in the reconciliation bill?
I don't know if that's necessary, but we're having conversations about the component pieces of all this. So.
How much money will that cost the taxpayers?
The president wants to fund it all with private donations, and he's made that very clear.
I don't think it should be funded with no kind of money.
All right, we are standing by for the policy meeting.
What the heezy happened down here at the bottom of the screezy? Yeah, I don't think this should be funded with no kind of money, personally, because like the first dude said, this is nothing but a vanity project, much like his next question or thing he trying to get done, which is this right, Sean. If you ain't heard about it, you want to put his face on our passports for whatever reason.
Some news to tell you about. The State Department, headed by Marco Rubio, who's the Secretary of State, in addition to being the National Security Advisor and was for a time the archivist of the National Archives and the head of USAID, has decided to commemorate America's 250th anniversary. Some passports will feature an image of President Trump. The State Department said the new passport will be the default one out of the Washington agency for those who renew in person. This is just another example, the president adding his name or image to government items. You may remember him adding his likeness to the National Park Pass right next to George Washington. And back in February, a large banner was hung outside the Justice Department with his face on it. Joining me now, CNN senior political commentator Adam Kinzinger, former Republican congressman. So I don't know when your passport expires, but if you renewed it and chose to do it in person this year in Washington, D.C., you would have President Trump's face on it for the rest of his term and then for 7 years after he leaves office. How do you feel about that?
Well, first off, I'd recommend people not renew this in person in D.C. then. I mean, look, Anderson, this whole thing's as silly as everybody knows it is, right? The thing about the 250th anniversary of America, which is something we should be proud of, is we always stood against authoritarianism, against putting people above the common good of the country. And a president is seen as a servant, not somebody to worship. And so, yeah, I mean, look, I think whoever the next president is in January of 2029, if it was me, I would say, hey, everybody can replace their Donald Trump passport for free if you write in and do that. So I think this will last for a couple of years, and it's sad. And again, it is the opposite of what we should be celebrating at 250 years, which is just we are a people that elect our own president. The president is not a king, and we're proud of that.
You do know that the White House just put out a picture of the president and the king with this saying two kings. So
yeah. Look, I mean, this is what they do. All they do is they just try to provoke people online. I mean, we're in a real war. We have economic issues. There's an energy crisis, but this is where the energy is spent. So whatever.
Do you anticipate this continuing, though? I mean, it does seem like why wouldn't there be an effort to put him on currency, or why wouldn't there be an effort to put him on, commemorative coins, or his face on the Trump arch that he wants to build?
Well, this is exactly, here's what happens, and this is why Rubio is doing this, is they sit around and they're like, man, I've got to get in Trump's good graces, so what do I do? And they come up with some way to praise him, to worship him. It started out early on, if you remember last year, people were hanging these big banners with Trump's face on it, and then they could go to the cabinet meetings and tell the president they were doing it, and he would love them, and then somebody else would get in his good graces. So they're just sitting here out competing each other for who can impress Donald Trump the most. So this is going to continue for a long time, Anderson, until he's out of office, and we will look back, and it will be as silly as it is now. We'll know that.
It's interesting. I mean, Pam Bondi, I assume, put up that banner at the Justice Department, and maybe it worked for like a day, but it's never enough. Clearly, she is no longer there.
That's right. Look, it's never enough. I mean, you can buy a little time with Donald Trump, but if you get close to him, he will always throw you under the bus. You'll always end up on the outs. I can't think of anybody, actually, that's been close to him that in the long run has ended up still in his inner circle. So buy yourself time. That's what they're trying to do. But look, in the long run, we're going to look back and say this was as silly as it feels right now.
Yeah, we'll see how the passport renewal business goes right now. Adam Kinzinger, thanks very much.
Now, we all knew, anybody with common sense knew this was some dictatorshippery that we was about to go into. No, you got to go back and look through history of just the good old dictators, the classic dictator classic, if you will. You got the Zedong. I don't know who this one is, but he got his face put on the money. Then we got Stalin, got his face put on the money. We got he kind of needed to do it, in my opinion, but that's my opinion. This dude right here, all of this, them banners with their faces on it. Let's see, dictator banners. Let's see, I got images of them that matched other dictators. Yeah, his stuff look just like the other dictators, hanging their pictures all over the place. This is supposed to be, a democracy. But it is what it is. Let me see what y'all saying about this thing. We're gonna get the hell up out of here. God dang it! Let me see if I can fix this real quick. Cause not being able to touch it, it's paused. Hold on, let me see this. Yeah, okay. Alright. Always on top display, show next to touch portrait. And then always on top disable. Yeah, let's see if I'm gonna have to figure this out later. God dang it. I'm trying to select y'all chats. See, Super, you shouldn't have stopped it there, but since you didn't, Charlie, not my king, got jokes because he's the same nasty hoe that Orange is. They both off their wives and ish, but whatever. Oh, that clip ended it. It was only that one little clip right there. Like it was from CNN, but it wasn't the whole movie thing. No. But yeah, they all in the same game. All do the same stuff. It's no different. I don't understand how it's a good chunk of people that don't put how just human nature is. And human nature is this. We like to categorize each other. All of the people, and this is, generally, but it's just like in school. The lunchroom is how the real world work. You in athletics and all that, for the most part, they all go sit together. All of the super smart kids that want to be a part of certain groups and all that, usually they all sit together. And the same thing with these politics. These politicians is all buddy with the other politicians at the top or whatever. Because they go to the same parties. Their kids go to the same schools. They all go to the same functions, galas. They all do the same stuff. Even though to the public, they hate each other, they enemies, this and that. No. Sometimes, sure. Every once in a while, all humans bicker within same groups, but for the most part, and Whole thing gotta be torn from the root up. But it's not gonna happen in our lifetime. Let's see. evil evil Stephen Colbert's line. He did look like Steve Colbert. He did. That bitch in the red couldn't even keep her eyes open while selling that lie. I guess that's how she does it when she's on her. Yeah, they all full of and like I forgot what the congresswoman said, but like they said, he had already knocked down the East one. They had already started building it. I'm not understanding where the confusion is. He's just trying to get the people on this side with this BS like he did the other time with the first fake assassination attempt, which how you go get more than the first black president got in his 2 years here. The actual real life security that was doing a job kept anything from happening. But here, you trying to say your security ain't good as his was, but you supposed to be better than him. Yeah, that's not making sense at all for anybody that believes that shit was real. Then go get up right after it and be like, told y'all. That's why we need this ballroom, you guys. They almost peeled my muffin top back, and I need that ballroom. Now I'm gonna go to 60 Minutes tomorrow to talk about this and fly over to London and bullshit over there. Dunny Boy wants to scam every single person in business he can. And it's so crazy. He been doing this since his creation into the world. Long track record of it. And there was folks out there saying, oh, he's a good businessman. If, as in business, you mean super greedy crook that will do whatever to make sure he gets to keep money in his pockets, well, then yes, you are 100% correct. If that's what you consider a good businessman. Sadly, that's what a lot of people do consider a good businessman. Because, well, technically, that's kind of how capitalism is kind of set up to work, though, to be honest. I know people think it is ethical capitalism a little bit, but no, not really. It's got to be some exploitation going on somewhere. It's built into the system. I didn't make these rules. Well, we have to look at our monarchs on our money. That's true. That's true. But right now, it's like they kind of cut the line. It was like, all right, who was the last person? What is it? I forgot who's the last person they put on there. But all these other years later, ain't no other presidents really done cared about that at all, except for this one. He won't put his name on everything. And this ballroom is gonna have his name like etched in everything, because they know they go, as soon as he get out, they go take the Kennedy Center name out and all that other stuff. He know that, but he wants to be forever remembered on some, like, he ran this, like, in history he was great, and everybody go look up and be like, yeah, he must have been great, his name was on everything. And that's what he's trying to do. I think he get off on being able to say everyone else follows the rules, but I don't have to, because I just grab them by the by the country, and they, yes, yeah, that is. I told my homeboy one time, I was like, you do know, dude is messed up, very messed up, and how you get that? Where I don't be seeing. I was like, because you not a messed up person. You not. Now it's a lot of people that followed him and was able to visually see he was a messed up person. But most messed up people can see a messed up person without knowing any of their history. But even seeing the history, just how dude acts, I was like, he acts like a spoiled only child like me. Except he didn't never get course corrected into behaving a different way. And he wants his name, he wants to be remembered for everything, just for the power part of it. A lot of people don't understand what it feels like to only care about what you go get, how you go be affected, and literally only view other human beings as objects. A lot of people cannot process that in their head. They can't get it because they don't have it. And sadly, when you can get that, you can't even explain it to nobody else because it don't even make sense to them. What you mean? Da, da, da. And that's how he looks at everybody. Everybody just, all right, I'm gonna put them over there. This motherfucker's tripping. I'm gonna get rid of them motherfuckers. Let's see. I'm gonna put them over there, and then, all right, these kind of old. I need some new ones. I'm gonna get rid of them. That's how he literally looks at human beings like that. And the world is his world. If y'all been on the live, the world is his world. Because he has amassed enough power to be able to do that. And, most previous presidents just, they mostly just went along with the program of bailing out all the big corporations and further entrenching the American people into debt slavery further and further, and enriching, the people that's already rich. But he's different. He's not the same as those, because he gonna do that, but he gonna be like, all right, yeah, but I'm gonna do this over here first. All right, I'm gonna do that too. I already did that here. Matter of fact, here's some kickoffs and stuff. So and really, it kind of even go further than that if you see like the long term of the whole situation, but that's a whole nother conversation. Let's see. All right, y'all. Let's see. I just pray someone with a sense is keeping the record of all of this foolishness that is destroying our history so they can put the pieces back together when Humpty Dumpty finally takes his fall. And that's what I'm going to say to this. That's why they want everything digitized. They want everything digitized so they can control it. And now with AI, you can alter anything. Also, if they can get everything digitized, they can blow all the noses off the sphinx of the entire history of the world digitally. Because, 20, 30, 40 years from now, it's going to be a real life digital world as far as and they trying to do it as much as possible. If it's up to them, ain't going to be no more books. Not for everybody to have access to, at least. Ain't gonna be nothing of record that can't be edited or audited by a system. And that's where the blockchain come in. And that's why a lot of people feel like the government has something to do with the blockchain, and forget the money part of it, just the technology of the blockchain. That is a conversation for a different day, you guys. Thanks for joining me here at What's the Business with Super Rig. I'm gonna be on tonight over at the Struggle Stream. We'll be talking about the Jay-Z interview with the New York Times and their top 30 lyricists of all times list. And we'll also be talking about whatever else other people that I see talking, whatever shit Smooth talking about, we gonna be talking about that. All right, see you guys on the flip side. I know you a liar. I know you are a flip-florin' liar. Show is. I'm gonna have to reprogram all of this stuff. Ain't this is it gonna work? We about to see if it's gonna work. I don't know if it's gonna work. Peace out.